Hamataki api. Le apetuki. Chante yushkia na peki chuzapi. Naha de owak pamni ki hai. Lil Daya Yahipi ki hai. I chante yomakpi. When I first came here, it was called Minneapolis. And I was kind of scared of Little Earth. But now that I'm here, it's, to me, I hate to say this, but very peaceful. I enjoy Little Earth. They care about their people here.
Little Earth is a community, an urban community of American Indians. Because of the Relocation Act, urban Indians needed a place to call home, and we were dramatically in need of housing because the housing that was being offered to us was atrocious. It's a beautiful place to live. I love living at Little Earth. To me, it's home. You know, a sense of community, a sense of pride, and where else can you go and be surrounded by your people other than the reservation? And even on the reservation, you're kind of spread out. Right here, they're your neighbors. You get to watch babies grow up. You start out being called cousin, then you get called auntie, then next thing you know, you're grandma. I'm at the age now where all the little kids call me grandma. I think some people know we exist, and some people don't. I think the ones who know we exist either like us or they're uninformed about us. You have your problems like all the communities do. It's just ours get put on the news more than anybody else's.
People, they don't know what to believe because they haven't experienced the community and the culture and the people here themselves personally.
It's a bad place with good people. When people try to call Little Earth a project, it's not a project. It's a housing community. There's a lot of good people around here that actually love their community and want to take care of everybody that's around here.
They act like we're disease or something, but we're not. Get to know the people before you judge.
Being Native, everybody thinks we're just alcoholics, drug addicts, bad people. My ancestors felt it, I feel it. I'm pretty sure my daughter's gonna feel it when she gets older.
We're not all just on drugs, you know what I'm saying? We're not all just bad people and out to hurt people. There's good families in here, there's healthy families in here. Some of us are trying to make a change in the community.
We're just as normal as any other neighborhood. There's just some people in here that don't fit the frame.
A lot of times what they hear on the news, shooting. They hear the violence. They don't hear what good come out of here. You got kids that are graduating, you got kids that are going off to college, you got our future doing better things out here.
But once they come here and we do a tour and they learn about Little Earth, they're like, you guys aren't bad. No, we're not bad. We're a wonderful community. My mom said don't get mad at people, educate them, inform them. Because if you get mad, they don't learn. If you educate them and inform them, then you've done good for your people.
A lot of people think that we all speak the same language, we all ate the same food, we all came from the same teepees, and all these different things that people don't understand because they just aren't in relationship with Native communities.
We are not a reservation. A lot of people think we're an inner city reservation, but actually we're collectively a group of Natives from all over the United States.
On the reservation, you only get to certain ones, you know what I'm saying? But down here, you get everybody down here.
Well, at last count, I know we got 38 different tribes.
There's tribes represented here from all over the country. People from Washington State, Idaho, Wisconsin, New Mexico, down south tribes, all are represented just within this small little radius.
I personally feel like they tried to move us from the reses into the urban areas, hoping to dilute our bloodlines. Because, that's been their goal all along, is to get rid of our bloodlines so that we don't exist anymore, so our treaties ain't valid anymore once we don't exist anymore. In order for us to survive, we had to cluster together. Indigenous people need a place to call home with their own people. That's how a healing begins.
They love being together because they understand each other, the way we act, the way we think, the way we behave. It's all interconnected.
I've been here all my life. I'm the third generation over here. It's where I lay my head. I protect where I'm at. I protect my home, you know what I'm saying? It's definitely like no other.
As Native people, our culture is real family based. It's tribally based, it's communally based. So for us, the main thing is our people, our fellow people who are around us every day. And that's more than just family, that's more than just extended family. That's friends who we adopt into our families, who we make our families.
We're beautiful people all the way around, man. You got a beautiful culture that's going on.
I love being Native, you know. I love the powwows, I love the regalia, the beadwork, the music, everything, you know. I love the whole feeling.
I like how everyone sticks together around here, you know what I'm saying? Someone could be getting bullied straight up and there would be everyone around this community. They don't even have to be cool with them. It's just as long as they know them and see their face, I'm like, hey, cut that out.
I say Little Earth is a wonderful place to live because I truly believe it in my heart. What it means to the whole community in general, having Little Earth, is having an urban place to call home. I mean, if you're coming from the reservation and you're looking for somebody or something, our services, you know you can come to Little Earth and we can direct you to where to go. You have a lot of elders here, you have a lot of young people, and that's what makes Little Earth so special. You can walk into our elders' room with a baby, and they'll be like, let me see, let grandma hold it. You know, and you ain't even gotta be related, and you're somebody's auntie, you're somebody's grandma. And that's a sense of family you won't get anywhere else, because the Indian community is a very small community.
I was born on a res. The only thing I know how to be is Indian.
It's like we're the first ones here. You gotta understand that.
Being a first person of this land, I'm honored and blessed to be that.
You know, as kids, we were baptized, we were forced to do stuff because our parents were, and they wanted to keep us in line with what they learned. We didn't even have Religious Freedom Act until 1978. We couldn't even practice our own stuff until then. You don't want to teach your child or your grandchild something that's going to get them beat, right? Our elders wouldn't do that.
My mom was brought up in the boarding school. She always told me, you're Indian, be proud. I knew I was Native, but I didn't know language. We didn't know anything about powwows. We didn't know nothing.
You know, this generation struggles. I think they struggle with knowing who they are and what they want.
I don't know my tribe, my dog.
What are some of the
I'm just kidding, I'm a Ojibwe. I have to play with you. Because I don't have a family that's actually teach me Ojibwe, teach me how to dance, drum. I don't wear beading, I don't have any that shows that I'm like Native. But yeah, I eat the food, sometimes I go to powwow with my family, but I barely do that on a daily basis though.
As much as we try to offer it, some of our spirituality stuff does not exist in an urban area, so it is hard.
The tradition is fading away. It is really fading away. It's all like a modern way of doing. My children didn't want to learn my language, but they're learning now because I'm teaching my grandchildren. When someone sneezes, "Boy, you washed it," that means bless you. Give me 5. Stop them like, ooh, you know, and they give each other 5s. They're just cute.
People on the reservation are more in tune with their culture, with their language. And being in the city, there's more like mixed blood people. There's not as many, full-blooded people or people who fully stick to the traditional ways or whatever the case may be.
I've been in the inner city my whole life. It's definitely different when I go up to the res. They look at us like, the inner city Indians, you know what I'm saying? So you're not full, you're not Native enough.
I think we're a lot the same still. So when I was a kid, your cousins and them from the reservation would come down here for the summer. A lot more of our kids tend to go up north now for the summer. They're facing the same issues up there that we're facing down here.
The urban experience right now is there are a lot more resources available. There's jobs.
We have childcare. We have our own people here to help people get help on drugs, alcoholism, things like that.
We have the YDC, we have the Teen Center, we have cultural programming, we have elders programming. We have great sports teams, we have the farm.
There's everything that you need right here, and you don't have to go a lot of places for different resources when they're sitting right here at your fingertips.
Growing up, I didn't have many opportunities. I had to leave my home to come here to pursue my education and have a healthy environment for my children.
In the city, you have so many more resources available to you. You have so many more outlets, so many more opportunities. And yet at the same time, there's a lot more negative opportunities and outlets because, crime's larger, there's more drugs, there's more people.
Really, the daytime, you really see a lot of Native people coming together, trying to help the community, but nighttime's kind of not so bloomy.
There's always some problems going on. Always somebody always fighting, somebody always shooting. Nowadays, you can't tell, even on the 4th of July, you can't tell the difference between a gunshot and a firework. You know what I'm saying?
There's a lot of unnecessary violence here, and I feel like sometimes it just like gets to the point where it's not safe enough for kids to come outside and play, and you know that's kind of wrong, because no kid should grow up in fear of their own neighborhood. A lot of people are kind of selfish when they do dumb stuff like that because they're not thinking about everybody else around them, they're just thinking about themselves.
So there's a lot of different things that have come against our people, whether it be self-inflicted or whether it be a put on us by other people or other circumstances. 1 out of every 2 Native young people drop out of high school. Poverty is a big thing. Single parent homes, kids being raised by their grandparents. We have the highest suicide rate of any other people group in this country.
I mean, back in my day, the stereotype was the drunken Indian, but now we've grown into something more deadly than any of us could have imagined.
We are in the opiate epidemic, and we were in that way before anybody else. We were drowning when nobody else was, and nobody cared. And I'll say it, and you can cut it if you want, but nobody cared until white kids start dying. Once they start dying, then everybody cared about the opiate crisis.
When I'm working, you know, we see a lot of remnants of drug use out here, dirty needles and things like that. I think the drugs are probably the biggest problem that this community faces right now.
I seen a young man come into the community about a year ago. Nice and healthy young fella. Within 6 months, this guy was bony. He was walking around talking to himself. It was scary, really, really scary that what that particular drug does to people. They're all poison, but this one in particular, it'll destroy the person's mind and the body within a year. But when you see a person falling into drug addiction, you stick with them and you stick with them until that day comes when they say, I don't want to do this anymore.
It breaks my heart. I've seen a lot of these young kids grow up from little kids to seeing them out here on the block, whether they're selling drugs, selling themselves, and strung out. It's heartbreaking. I have a son right now that's in treatment right now, trying to better himself. All I can do is pray that he finds his strength and he keeps following his sobriety, while hoping and praying the other one doesn't die. Because I have a son that's really bad in the streets. He's a good kid. He's a great musician. He's just lost. And there's a lot of kids that we've buried here from addiction. We've lost a lot of young kids to addiction.
We had 11 ODs in 12 minutes on our property. We lost 1 life that day. And that's when the Lyra Board of Directors said, you know what, we can't cure this problem, but we can meet it head on. And what we did was we went out, started Narcan training our residents. That's not to say we don't still have a drug problem here. We do, just like everybody else. But we met it head on and we started saving lives because we weren't going to go through that again. And nobody wanted to help us. Nobody wanted to help us. So we did it ourselves.
That's part of what makes everyone here resilient, though. It's almost like there's multiple kids being raised by multiple families and other parents are looking out for other kids that aren't even theirs, because everyone wants to see their children grow and have a bright future. And you know, everyone knows the saying, it takes a village to raise a child.
It doesn't belong to the drug dealers or the drug addicts. It belongs to the people. And if the people don't take control and assume responsibility in making it better, who will?
It's your life. It's how you want to be. Put yourself out there. Think about it. You know, think how you want to live and how you want to survive.
I can't express how much my sobriety has meant to me. Raising my kids sober and, you know, my grandkids and now my great-grandkids. Knowing that they have a sober grandma and a great grandma and they never ever see me take a drink or do any drugs or anything like that. I think, you know, if grandma can do it, you know, maybe that'll give them hope also.
Like, it's not all bad. Like, I graduated. I'm not, no gang, don't sell drugs, don't do any of the negative. I don't fight, don't shoot people, don't do none of that.
Let's say they didn't even graduate, but they are doing positive. When we come together as a community, we can accomplish a lot.
I hope that Little Earth continues. I hope that it remains here. I hope it doesn't go away. And within that, I hope that we can continue to improve. continue to grow and shake off the negative aspects like the drug addiction, the gangs, the alcoholism, those things. And we've worked on that. We've been working on that as a community for a long time. I think if we continue to work on it, we'll continue to grow and be strong.
The gangs that are here, I wish they would protect Little Earth rather than fighting each other, you know? Stand together and be like guardian angels and protect their community, their siblings, their little relatives.
My biggest hope for the community of Little Earth is to really be able to flourish in the capacities and the talents and the giftings that the Creator's given them. There's so many talented people here, artists, musicians, athletes, people who are intelligent that have a lot of great ideas. Us Native people, we need leaders that look like us. And we need heroes that look like us.
My biggest hope is that they get an education or they go out and find a job, and that they come back, they don't forget where they came from, and help that younger boy, show him how to be that great player, show him how to be that great businessman, show him how not to be a gang member, show him that there's other things in the world for him.
Got kids like him running around every day, you know what I'm saying? I always make sure he's straight. You know what I'm saying? I'm always make sure he's getting his homework done, tell him to go to school, just do what he needs to do to be a kid, a great kid around this community. You know what I'm saying? Because not only do we have to be role models, there could be kids that are role models to other kids.
Mahastine kachapi. Cha chanku omani ki ha daya omani bi. You're very young, so the road you walk it proudly.
Morning sun, in the morning sun, in the morning sun. This is for my homies on the block, trying to ease the pain with a wood full of loud. This is for my single mothers who are down, but never out. This is for my young ones who wanna believe, but they also have their doubts. And this is for everyone who ever lost anyone from cancer, disease, gun violence, or an overdose, y'all. Cause I know you hurt, but I also know you proud. And yo, dog, I know it's hard to trust another soul, dog. You from the hood, so you'll never fold, dog. You like, oh, I done lost homies in my famo. I'm just waiting for the morning sun, just waiting for that morning sun. Cause pain lasts for a night, but joy comes in the morning sun. In the morning sun, in the morning sun, in the morning sun. Cause pain lasts for a night, but joy comes in the morning sun.